Hello YouTube! I am so glad it's the last week of 2020. Wow, that's so good. Oh my god. I'm so glad this year is over. So I almost decided not to do one of these this year, but I figured I did them the last 2 years, so I should probably stick with them. And even if this year's weird, then it's just something to look back on. In the future, when everything's better and not crazy like this, then it'll be more fun. But today's video, I'm going to be talking about looking back on this year of 2020 and then looking forward to the future of 2021, talking about some goals and things that I did this year and things I'm hoping for next year. So yeah, you should hang out with me, grab your mug of tea that I'm very scared I'm gonna spill because it's very full right now. But grab your cup of tea, get cozy, and let's hang out and talk about some goals for the new year. So I just rewatched my video from the start of this year. I think I uploaded that the second week of January of 2020, and I was like, wow, here's all my goals for this year, and like looking back on 2019. But I just feel very motivated about the new year, and I feel very motivated, especially looking back at last year and seeing how many of the things I actually stuck to and got done. And like, I'm doing good, and I'm gonna just like keep going and keep making more stuff. Obviously, a lot of those goals did not get done because of what this year was. I wrote down in my notebook here the main goals that I had for 2020. At the start of the year, I had some cosplay goals, things that I wanted to cosplay, and I actually ended up doing a lot of the things that I wanted to do this year. I did some new Miku cosplays, I did a ton of Fire Emblem cosplays, like a lot of Fire Emblem, and I did Yuna from Final Fantasy X, which are all things that were on my list of things that I wanted to cosplay this year, so that was actually a nice surprise. I thought like I wasn't gonna have done any of the things on my cosplay list. Obviously there was a lot more on that list. My big project that I wanted to do at the start of this year, I did not even do anything about. I did not start, nothing. That's just like, it's gone out of my head now. That's okay, I did the other things. I also said at the start of this year that I wanted to do some gaming content on my YouTube channel, either gaming streams or gaming videos, and I finally did that over the last couple of weeks. I've done a few gaming streams here on my channel, and that's been really fun. Cosplay is like not my main content that I do, but it's been fun to kind of mix that in here and there. And after that we get to all the things that I did not do this year, so fun. I loved that in my last video I started off by saying like a lot of people when they make their New Year's resolutions and New Year's goals, they get really unrealistic expectations for themselves and then they feel like a failure at the end of the year when they didn't do them. So it's important to keep your goals and your motivations like grounded in reality. And who knew that the most grounded things I had were the things that were like not gonna happen at all. But that's okay. I know I'm not a failure for not being able to do these things. Most people didn't get to do any things this year, so I'm not too worried about it. It's just kind of like these goals will just kind of transfer to the next year or whenever they're actually able to happen, because I think 2021 is still gonna be like a little bit weird at the beginning. Like, we all know it's not going to be like 2020 ends and then all the bad stuff just stops. It's like there's going to be a transition period into new life. But the first of those goals that I did not get to do this year was I wanted to do more photo shoots. I wanted to work, specifically working with more photographers. And I did do some photo shoots at the beginning of the year. Kasukan was the only convention I went to this year. And I did work with some new photographers there. I did a lot of photo shoots there. But besides that one weekend, I have not done any photo shoots with photographers basically all year. All of my photo shoots that I've done this year have been self-shooting, which, while obviously very different from me getting to work with other photographers, I think still was good in a way because I could grow those skills and try to like learn more about cameras and shooting and photo editing and stuff. So I do think I was able to develop that skill on my own more than I had it before. Definitely still not the same though, and like part of the goal was me wanting to work with other people and collaborate with other people, which did not happen. Then very related to that is me wanting to go to more conventions. Like I said, went to one this year, and I'm just so glad that one even happened in the first place because it was like right after Katsucon that everything really went to shit and exploded, so I'm glad I was able to at least go to that one. Conventions have been a really big hole in my life that I've really been missing this year, and I miss my convention friends a lot. I miss just going to them. This year has been like, it's just been missing so much without them. And I have a lot of conventions I'll be at this year. Katsucon, Anime Boston, I'm not sure. PortCon Maine, I'm at every single year. Fan Expo Boston again. Rock and Track in October. And then in connection to wanting to go to more conventions, I wanted to do more vlogging, and I wanted to try running a panel or hosting an event at a convention, which again, obviously none of that happened because there was no conventions at all besides that one at the beginning of the year. So I didn't get to do any of those things, but again, like, those are things that when conventions are back and it's safe to go to them again, those goals are still goals I have. They'll just be pushed to whenever it's feasible and realistic to do them. And I guess it just gives me more time to work on those things and work on my skills and then develop things, then be able to do them later in the future. So with that, basically moral of the story is nothing happened in 2020. I sat at home a lot and did nothing, but I'm still proud of myself for getting through this year and doing all the things that I did do this year. With that out of the way, let's slide into the goals for 2021, which I think compared to the last 2 years that I've done these videos, these goals are going to be a lot more low-key. There's a lot less things that I want, I feel like. But at the same time, the things I do want, I want so strongly and so badly that I really hope they happen. I feel like also my list of goals that I made for 2021 are a lot more like real life things about me and not really fun, exciting, cool things, but I still want to talk about them, and then I can look back at them at the end of 2021 and hopefully these things would have happened, maybe, I hope. So one is that I would really like to talk to my friends more. It's been something I know I've been struggling a lot with this year, with the quarantine and pandemic and everything, and just being at home by myself a lot. I've noticed myself just like really withdrawing and just really becoming a hermit, and I don't want to be a hermit. I want to reach out to my friends, I want to talk to people more, and it's something that I've been struggling with. So I want to push myself to try to actually talk to my friends more, because I know they're there. I know I can send my friends a message, but it's hard right now. I've completely closed off from a lot of stuff that I don't want to be. I want to be connected with people, but just talking with people is so hard right now. So I really want to be less of a hermit and actually talk to my friends more. And then of course on that note, this obviously is very dependent on the world and the state of everything, but I would really like to see my friends and my family this year. I have not seen really anyone since March of 2020, so it's been a really long time since I've seen any of my friends or any of my family or anyone around me. I've just been at home, basically, completely like cut off from everyone else. So depending how things go, I would really like to be able to see all those people again. I really miss having them all in my life and like spending time with my friends. I want to see my best friend Em. I want to do photo shoots. I want to go I want to see everyone. I miss so many people. So like while I've been missing people but also been struggling to talk to them, I'm just like, I feel so isolated. So I hope that isolated feeling starts to go away. Some things that I would like to do this year, I would like to do more crafting this year. I think I talked about it a little bit last year too, and I did some crafting in 2020, but really just everything has taken such a hit that I have no motivation for stuff like that. So I would really like to do more crafting going into 2021, and I have 2 big projects that I'm working on right now, and I'm really excited about them. I think it's going to be really good for me to just be able to focus on something and make something with my hands, and I'm very excited about that. Both projects I will be making videos on, so that's something you guys can look forward to seeing on here. I like doing crafting videos. I've done a few of them, and every time I feel like you guys really like them. I really like doing them, and I want to do that more in my life. Another thing that I would really like to do more in the next year is I want to read more. I have so many books all over my house that I just never read, And it's like, once I start reading, I don't have a problem. I can sit there forever and read for a really long time, but I just can't get myself to start doing it. So I want to be able to get myself to read more and read some of the many books that I have collected around me. I've kind of tried to start it a little bit early, and right now I'm reading through Lord of the Rings, which I've never actually read through the Lord of the Rings books as a whole before. So I'm doing that, and I'm really enjoying it. And then I'm also reading Yaya Han's World of Cosplay, which I just got. I ordered it around Black Friday, and it just came in the mail the other day, and it is so good so far. I actually read the first chapter where she's like explaining like what are conventions and what is cosplay, and cried through it a little bit because I missed cosplaying and I missed conventions so much. But it's very good, and it's definitely motivating me to read more because I want to just keep reading that. So hopefully I can get myself to make reading a more regular part of my life because I have so many things that I want to read through. I also just in general would like to take care of myself more. I think it's another thing I've been struggling with that I think a lot of people have been struggling with this year. I want to just take care of myself, not make myself go crazy trying to work all the time always, but doing things to make myself happy or relax, or things that are not work related in any way but are just for me. And then also things like, I don't know, I feel like everyone has struggled with like basic human needs in 2020. So like I want to make sure I eat full meals and I don't know, take care of myself like that. And one step that I've done to try to help with that is I have set up a little bullet journal, and it has a cute cat on the front, and I have a lot of charts and to-do lists, and I've already like set it up for like the first couple of months of 2021, so I think that's going to help me a lot. I had a notebook that I used for the last few months, this one here, and I just make a to-do list every single day, and I realized like if I'm going to do this, I can make it look nice and I can make it organized and actually useful and helpful, that I can look back on and not just like really messy lists of things that make no sense. Also, there'd be a lot of times like I would write notes about stuff, like notes about videos, and they would just be lost because I would never know where to find them. So I set up a notebook with actual things in it, so that will hopefully be very helpful for me to like keep track of my work and my life and my human needs and taking care of myself and all of that in one place. And I think that's going to be very helpful. And then I think also related to that, and this is the last thing I have written on my list here, is just like loving myself as something that I have as a goal. I don't dislike myself, I love myself, but I do struggle with things, and especially with 2020 and all the weird, crazy, terrible, insane stuff that happened this year. I think I've definitely taken some hits in that way, and I feel like I struggle with doing things that are just for myself. I definitely know I struggle with talking about my interests now, which is something I really don't like. I want to be able to talk about the things I like. So that is something that I'm gonna try to work on, and hopefully I can like use different techniques to help with that. Like I want to make videos talking about topics and subjects and fandom things just because I like those things, and I think that will help me feel more comfortable and confident with talking about those things. And I think just in general, after the mess that was this year, I think those kind of goals are things that would be good for a lot of people to have. I don't think we should make goals that are like, I want to exercise every single day and I want to lose this much weight and I want to eat healthy meals for every meal. Like that's extra unrealistic this year. Like it's unrealistic normally, but it's extra unrealistic now. I think we should try to make goals this year that are like things that we need to take care of ourselves like that. That is all that I had written for my list of goals for this year, and all I really have to say about looking back on the last year. I hope that you guys found this interesting, and I would love to hear what are your goals for this year. Do you have cosplay goals? Do you have self-care goals? Do you have other things that you want to do in 2021? I would really love to hear from all of you and just hear what you're up to, what you want to happen. What is things that you hope for also? I really hope that, like, I'm sure it won't be right away, but I hope like by the end of next year we can start having conventions again. I hope that it'll be safe for traveling and for seeing people and like getting together in groups. I really hope by the end of next year that that's a thing that we can all do together. Okay, with that, we are all done with today's video. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!